It's good to see you again. How are you? Okay. How was your week off? Did you continue to practice the 2 techniques that we discussed? Good. And how are they working for you? Okay. Oh yeah, that's not a problem. You are most definitely in luck with that because I have 2 things for us to go over today. Well, it's like one thing, but 2 different ways of doing it, if you will. And I also have homework for you. Don't get too excited. I'm just kidding. Okay, so go ahead. Tell me about your week. Tell me, let's do 3 things that went really, really well and 3 things we want to work on. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and make notes as you're speaking, okay? Okay, go ahead. Good. Okay. Good. Can I challenge that one a little bit? Yeah, just go into a little more detail with it. I want it to not be so broad. Thank you. Perfect. Okay, now the 3 things we want to work on. That makes sense. So the technique did help sleep somewhat, but not fully. There were still some nights that you tossed and turned or couldn't fall asleep at all. Okay. Has trouble staying asleep. And once you're up, you have trouble falling asleep again. Okay. And then lastly, are you still having trouble like being in the moment? Have you worked on that much this week? Because I know we've been really focused on sleep, which is crucial, especially with this therapy. But I am curious if you are still working on being in the moment, being mindful. Okay. And we can absolutely go over more, 100%, because some of the homework, some of it has to do with that. Because I know we were doing the 5 senses, which is being in the moment, but there's a lot more to it, you know? Okay. So how would you feel about diving further into that, or would you rather work on something else? Okay. Continue with mindfulness. You got it. It is so amazing to know and really grasp, you know? Okay, now that I have that, why don't we go over one of the techniques that I have planned for you this week, and then we will get into the homework, which we can do. It's up to you if you want to do one of the homeworks together, or if you want to wait and do it this week. You have 2. So we can you can decide which one you want to work on in here to get a better idea on, or which one you might have more questions on. Does that make sense? Okay. So we have discussed, I'm going to set that aside for a moment. We've discussed this technique before, but we haven't actually done it. So I am going to practice it with you while you are sitting here. That way you have an idea of what to do when you get home tonight. And I will print this out for you at the end of the session and give it to you, okay? So I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to do it, okay? While sitting, breathe in through your nose for a count of 4. Taking the breath into your stomach, hold your breath for a count of 4. Release your breath through your mouth with a whooshing sound for a count of 8. Without a break, breathe in again for a count of 4, repeating the entire technique 3 to 4 times in a row. So we're just going to do it 3 times in a row, okay? And what they mean by the whoosh sound is you're going to go, okay? Does that make sense? Cool. So go ahead, sit there. You can close your eyes or have them open, totally up to you, whatever is most comfortable. Okay, and I will do it with you. And ready? Here we go. And in. Out. Very good. Okay, and again. Ready? We're going to go in. Very good. And one more time. And in. Very good. All right, so now that you have that one mastered, we are going to do another one. See what I meant? It's like the same thing, but there's 2 different kinds. All right, this is the 4-7-8 breathing technique, which involves breathing in for 4 seconds, holding the breath for 7 seconds, and exhaling for 8 seconds. People may find it helps manage anxiety. This breathing pattern aims to reduce anxiety or help people get to sleep. All right, are you ready? Okay, so this one's going to be a little harder because you got to breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3, and we'll do it 3 times. Ready, set, go. Good. And again. Very good. And one more time in. And amazing. So, which one of those techniques, or both, did you like? You liked them both. So why don't we do this? So this week, I want you to practice one night doing the 4-4-8, and then the next night doing the 4-7-8. How does that sound? So I'll make a note here. Alternate. So what is tonight? It's Monday. So Monday, Wednesday, whoops. Friday, and Sunday. And then this you are going to do Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Does that make sense? No. Yes. Yes. Perfect. All right. I'm going to go ahead and print this for you, and I'll go get it in a moment. All right. This is for you to take home with you and practice, okay? And now let's go ahead and talk about your homework. How does that sound? Good. All right. So I'm going to tell you what each one is, and then you can tell me which one you want to do at home and which one you want to do here. Well, you're going to do both of them at home, but we're going to go into more detail with one of them in here. So the first one here is observing, describing, and participating. It's like a checklist. So you know how we did like the 5 senses? Or like you gotta observe like feel, touch, smell, taste, you know? So this is more in depth with what you see And what you hear, like, you're really observing and you're describing it now. So instead of just noticing it, you are now describing it. Does that make sense? So I feel like this might be something that you kind of already have an idea of. I'll give you like a couple examples here. So check off mindfulness skills that you use when you use them. You can check each skill up to 4 times. If you practice a skill more than 4 times, extend your checks toward the edge of the page or use the back of the page if needed. So, practice observing. Check off an exercise each time you do one. What you see. Watch without following what you see. Sounds around you. Pitch and sound of someone's voice. Music. Smells around you. Aroma of food. Soap. Air as you walk. The taste of what you eat and the act of eating. Urges to do something. Urge to serve. Notice urge to avoid. Notice where in body urge is. Body sensations. Body scan. Sensation of walking. Body touching. Something. Thoughts coming in and out of your mind. Imagine your mind as a river or as a conveyor belt. You see? So once you actually look at it, you'll have a better understanding of exactly what it is. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to put the date on here. 2. Homework. And then if you have any questions throughout the week, feel free to write them on this page or on the back, and we can go over it next session. Exactly. Okay, so all right. So there's that for you. Okay, and now let's get into what we are going to work on today, which I am very excited about. Aren't you? Okay. That's okay. It's called loving kindness. So, check off the types of loving kindness mindfulness practices you will do this week. So as you do them, you're going to check them off. Write out descriptions of 2 different times when you practiced loving kindness. Use the back of this worksheet if more space is needed. So again, you have these that you need to do and the back if necessary, okay? So, for example, this is more focusing on, let's move that out of the way for now, kindness to yourself, to others, friends, family, even enemies. I know, it's on here. So anytime you are like kind to yourself, you're going to check it off. You're also going to write down the description here. So let's say you were kind to yourself. Give me an example of how you're kind to yourself. Oh, I think you do know. Okay. Give me an example of how you're kind to somebody else. Like, let's say to a friend. How could you be kind to a friend? Okay. Exactly. So in the description, you'd write that down. Friend needed a ride to work, so I decided to give my friend a ride to work. Kindness, act of kindness, okay? It really is pretty simple. And then the next thing you're going to do, check if practicing loving kindness has increased any of the following, even a little bit toward this person. Feelings of warmth or caring, love, compassion, feelings of connection, wisdom, happiness, or sense of personal validity. So, when you check here, and then you write the description, you're also going to say whether it did help in any of these ways as well. Does that make sense? So, the example you used, would you say helping a friend by giving them a ride to work would be more warmth or caring, compassionate, connection, wisdom, happiness, or sense of personal validity. Compassion? Absolutely, because you were compassionate in the sense that they didn't have a ride to work. Yeah, empathetic too. And then describe how the skill helped or did not help you become more compassionate. It's pretty self-explanatory, yeah? Okay. Again, you're going to check off either yourself, a loved one, a friend, and describe the script you used. So, the example they used, the warm wishes you sent blank, same as above, check if correct. So you would basically describe again how it helped. Compassionate, right? Giving my friend a ride to work made me more compassionate because. Does that make sense? Good. And then down here, you're going to check if practicing love kindness has increased any of the following even a little bit toward this person. So you're basically going to do the same thing over again and describe how the skill helped or did not help you become more compassionate. So you have several examples that you're going to do today. I want at least 3. Okay? And then list any and all wise things you did this week. Do you know what wise things are? Do you remember being in the wise mind? I know we talked about it a little bit. So it's where you use both your emotional mind and your reasonable mind as one. So list any of those. I'll give you an example. So let's say you need to make a decision, a hard decision. All right, you want a dog. You really, really want a dog. But like your emotional mind is like, we really, really want this companionship. We really need it. And your reasonable mind is like, yeah, but can we take care of it? Do we have what it takes to take care of this animal, right? That's using your wise mind. If you were to just go get a dog out of a whim because you felt like it and you didn't take into consideration what it means to take care of the dog, that would be your emotional mind. And to not get a dog at all because you are so focused on the reasonable of like, you could take care of it, but you're like, no, it's too stressful, it's too much on my plate. That's being way too reasonable. So yes, it can be unhealthy to be too reasonable too. Yeah, because then you're not really using your emotions and you're not really giving yourself anything that you really want or need. Yeah. I know, it's crazy if you think about it. So yes, I want you to list, it says list any, I want you to list 5 things. And 5 examples. Okay? Alright, so why don't we together go over a few? Alright? Okay, so I want you to give me one more example of a kind gesture that you could do. And this time I really want you to think about, yes, yourself. I know you knew I was going to say that. Because it's something you have to work on, right? So we might as well work on it in therapy. Why do you have such a hard time focusing on yourself and giving yourself kindness? You also deserve it. And you not only deserve it, you need it. You need it to function. You need it to survive. You need it to be able to be there for other people. I know. It is hard. But I believe in you. Yes, I do. Okay. Excuse me one moment. I do have to take this. Hello? Yeah, I'm with a client right now. Is this an emergency? Okay. Oh. Really? Well, that's not good. Does it say on the bottle how many they have left? Okay. Alright, hold on 1 second. I'm so sorry. Give me 1 second. This is actually very important. No, you're fine. You don't have to leave. Okay, so give me the client's name and date of birth. Okay. Okay. And what was the prescription number again? Okay. I will go ahead and get a hold of their doctor and I will call you back. I am going to go ahead and finish up with the client that I have now though. Is that okay? Or do they need it like right now? They can wait a bit. Did they take their medicine today? They ran out today? Okay. Okay. Thank you. I will do that right away. Okay. Bye-bye. I am so sorry about that. Usually I don't take calls when I'm with a client, but sometimes there are emergencies and that is my work phone, so sometimes we have to answer. I do apologize for that. Alright, so where were we? Right, okay, yes, you were giving me examples on how you could be kind to yourself. Yes. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and write some of these on the back if that's okay. Do you like bubble baths? I want it to be something that you enjoy, okay? Not just because you're like, oh, I gotta think of something. You actually enjoy bubble baths, yes? So that would be a good one. Give me 2 more. Okay. I like that one. So a lot of people think that food is a negative thing. It's not. It is very important to have a healthy relationship with food and not completely cut off everything unless there's an allergy or it makes you sick, right? So if you tell yourself you can't have this because you're like disciplining yourself or you're basically punishing yourself for whatever reason, like, no, it's never gonna work. But to allow yourself to have certain things once in a while, that's very important. Now, I'm not saying go out and eat cake every single day because that would be very harmful to your body. But yes, having a treat every now and then it's not bad. So I like that one a lot. Just remember to be careful with it, okay? Perfect. Give me one more. See, you are good at this. You're way better than you think. Yes, talk to or visit a friend. I like that. Because it's for yourself, but also for somebody else. You never know. 2 birds, 1 stone. I like it. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and give this to you. Okay? You did very, very well today. And I have one more thing I want you to do. I swear, and then we're done. You can be on your way. All right. So I want you to rate on a scale of 1 to 10 how you think it's gonna go this week, doing the alternate nights of the breathing exercises. Okay. So let's do the first one. All right. Scale of 1 to 10. You think it's gonna do 7? Okay. Okay. And then the next one, the 4, 7, 8. You think that one's gonna do an 8? Okay, amazing. I'm going to go ahead, copy this, bring it over so that we know this is part of your homework. and then you will be all set unless there is anything you'd like to add or things that you just want to talk about for a second. I am all ears. This is your time, whatever you need. Okay. Okay. No problem. No, you're totally fine to go. Don't forget your worksheets. Don't forget to do it. And then bring it in next week, okay? And we'll go over it. All right. You have a good rest of your week now. Okay. I'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.